I'm really delighted to welcome you all to the PHIRE online panel discussion. My name is Francesca Natali, and I am here on the behalf of the PHIRE Consortium. Before we begin, I really would like to briefly introduce the context of the today event. PHIRE, it is a European funded project, and more precisely, it has been funded under the Transition Funding Scheme, which is one of the pillars of the European Innovation Council funding program. And PHIRE, it is focused on the development of an innovative theranostic approach for the detection and also for the treatment of a higher grade bladder cancer residual disease. The project we are still developing, even if is reaching its final phase, bring together clinical, academic, industrial, and investment partners with a shared goal of advancing on a more precise and personalized approach to bladder cancer care. So the PHIRE project aims at bringing closer to the market a novel high resolution theranostic medical device, effective in clinical application and ready for use in human bladder cancer. Both male and female patients should benefit from this. So today's webinar, it's a great opportunity to share with you all our progress and to discuss broader perspective on innovation in oncology. Over the next hour, we will hear from experts representing European innovation policy, clinical research, and industry, who will discuss the current state of the art and the future direction in bladder cancer treatment. It's now really a great pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Adela Dvorakova. She is our project officer, and she works at the European Innovation Council and for the SMEs Executive Agency. She will open the session, giving us an overview of the European Innovation Council role in supporting breakthrough and innovative solution, and also presenting the European commitment for supporting breakthrough innovation. So, Adela, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks a lot, Francesca. So hello, everybody. My name is Adela Dvorakova, as Francesca correctly introduced me. I'm a tech-to-market advisor at EIC Transition, and yeah, I'm a project officer of the project PHIRE. I would like to give you just a short intro presentation highlighting why the EU is investing in projects such as PHIRE and what is the role of the EIC, and also present to you the EIC as such in case there is any of you who would be interested in getting funding by the EIC, so that you know what opportunities there are. So why is the EU investing in projects like PHIRE? Well, the reason is that, well, as we know, the EU invests very much in science and research, and that has been so for many, many years. But actually, it becomes more and more evident that that for achieving global competitiveness for the EU, we not only have to support the excellent science and the research, but we also have to help the projects to translate their scientific discoveries into market-ready innovations and into high-growth companies. We also know that breakthrough discoveries face a lot of barrier before reaching the market. So I have put here in this slide the typical, in a very simplified way, the typical journey of a technology from fundamental research towards the impact, actually. So you see it starts with fundamental research, then you get some kind of proof of concept, the first validation. then you get into commercialization, then you scale up your company, and that actually that's where the real impact actually happens. So that's what we are trying to achieve: the real impact with companies that are strong, successful, and that manage to scale. The issue is that somewhere between the first technology validation and the commercialization, there are a lot of obstacles, there are a lot of things that can go wrong, and that's called the valley of death very often. And that's the reason why the EIC has been created. It is to bridge the valley of death, or to help the companies to bridge the valley of death. So to help them, to support them on their journey towards the market that can be very, very long, like in the case of the PHIRE technology. So the EIC is a funding program that has a budget of 10 billion euros in this multi-annual financial framework. It's actually the biggest EU funding program, and definitely the most ambitious one. And it's very unique in that it combines not only the research, but also a lot of other support and services and other support that help the companies and the beneficiaries to accelerate their path towards the market. It publishes every year an annual work program. On this slide there you can see the link to the EIC work program 2026. You can Google for that. You can Google just EIC work program 26, and you will see what are the funding opportunities and conditions for participating in our calls this year. The EIC has three main instruments. The first one is the EIC Pathfinder. The EIC Pathfinder has been set up to support early stage research and breakthrough technologies. It offers grants up to 4 million, and it's a successor of the previous FET Open. You might have heard about the FET Open. So this is a successor program in this multi-annual financial framework. Then we have EIC Transition. This is where the project PHIRE is currently. EIC Transition is basically a scheme that comes after the Pathfinder. So once you have finished your Pathfinder project, and that's pretty much where the valley of death is starting, you can apply for transition. So the transition program is extremely important because it helps the projects exactly in the most critical stages of development. And in the EIC Transition project, you are supposed to further develop your technology and also increase your business and market readiness. We offer grants up to 2.5 million. And then there is EIC Accelerator. So once the transition is completed, you are eligible to apply to EIC Accelerator. And EIC Accelerator is there to help you further develop your technology and prepare yourself for entering the market, or to scale up your technology and business. The EIC Accelerator gives either grants of up to 2.5 million, or equity investment of up to 10 million or 30 million with a specific call that is called Step Scale Up. Or you can get blended finance. You can get both. You can get grant and equity investment as well. The mission of the EIC is to identify, develop, and deploy high-risk innovations of all kinds. So there is no limitation when it comes to the field of technology. We focus on breakthrough market-creating technologies and deep tech. The EIC is steered by the EIC Board of Leading Innovators, and we also offer to our project a wide range of business acceleration services. So the EIC is not only about money, but it's also about providing a lot of other additional support and services that the projects can benefit from. So talking about the EIC transition, because PHIRE is now at the stage of transition, and that's also where I'm coming from. At EIC transition, what we expect is that the project starts with a proof of concept. So you start at the technology readiness level 3 to 4. You should have a technological breakthrough, you should have an incipient business model, and you should have an IP strategy. Then during the project, you will be working on your technology development and also on the business aspects. And at the end, you are expected to have a functional version of your technology validated or demonstrated in relevant environment. So you are aiming at TRL 5 to 6. Plus, this technology should be supported by a sound and implementable commercialization strategy. If a project reaches this point at the end of a transition project, we consider that it's investment ready. And that's actually one of the biggest objectives of the EIC transition, to help the projects to become ready for attracting private investors so that they are not only dependent on public funding all the time. So if you achieve this point, you should be able to attract private investment and continue the journey, potentially also without the EIC. The EIC transition in 2026 has a total budget of 100 million. The requested EU contribution per proposal can range between 500,000 and 2.5 million. The funding rate is 100%, so we fund all the costs. The duration can be between 1 and 3 years. And in addition to this, you can also request what we call it booster grants of up to 50,000 to help you develop some specific business aspects or regulatory aspects in your project. And as all other projects, the transition projects get access to business acceleration services and also matchmaking events. What I didn't put on this slide, but it's very relevant to say, is that there is the call for proposals currently open. And the deadline for submitting applications is on the 17th of September. So if there is anybody interested, please go to the Funding and Tenders portal and you can look up the call, Transition Call 2026. Just very briefly, I would like to also present to you what are the business acceleration services that we talk about very often. Those are services that are meant to support our projects in different aspects of business development. We have the so-called EIC service catalog that can connect our projects with services of our partners. So that's the first line that you see in my slide. We have services of business incubators, accelerators, other innovation agencies, venture builders. So you can, when you go to the EIC service catalog, you can see a lot of different kinds of services. You can filter them based on your needs. So that is one of the options for our projects. We also give them access to business partners. So we have programs that aim at matching our projects with corporates. So we organize multi-corporate days with some big corporations. We can do matchmaking with investors. We can link our projects with innovation procurers, or we organize also trade fairs in Europe and outside of Europe to help our companies expand to other markets. And in the third line, you see other specific services that are aiming at giving our projects access to advice and skills. I would like to highlight 3, which are really excellent. The first one is business coaching. So every project in the EIC portfolio has the right to get up to 12 days of business coaching free of charge. So it is paid, but it's paid by the EIC. So you really get 12 days of sitting with the coach free of charge, covered by the EIC. Then there is the Tech to Market service, which is a series of different kinds of webinars, training sessions, also some kind of mentoring and coaching. You get a lot of input regarding your project, regarding your business maturity. So Tech to Market services are also very relevant. They are not individual like the business coaching. The business coaching is really one coach with one project working together. Tech to Market services take place in smaller groups of projects, but still it is something that is very useful to our projects. And we also have the Women Leadership Program, which is meant for women that are aiming at ascending to senior positions or that want to spin off companies and so on. And within the Women Leadership Program, you can also get coaching and mentoring, networking opportunities, and so on. So if there are any women in this project that would be interested, then that would also be a good thing to have a look at. Now, for the PHIRE project, when the transition project is over, the question is what will come next? So what can you do next? I would like to just highlight a couple of possibilities. The first one, the most obvious one, is EIC Accelerator, which can give you, as I said already at the beginning, up to 10 million of equity investment and up to 2.5 million grant. We organize yearly several calls. There is the open call, which doesn't have any priorities when it comes to topics. And then there is the challenges call, for which every year we define challenges. So that's like priority areas or which technologies we want to fund with the challenges. This year, unfortunately, to the best of my knowledge, there is no challenge related to biotech, but maybe next year or other years there can be. EIC Step Scale Up is another call under the EIC Accelerator. You can get up to 30 million equity investment under this call. And it is meant for funding of critical technologies, including biotechnologies. So you can also go into the EIC work program and check the eligibility conditions and see if your project would fit under the Step Scale Up call. The Step Scale Up call is specific in the sense that it requires a pre-commitment of a qualified investor. So you need to have already a qualified investor committed to invest so that you can apply for EIC Step Scale Up. Then there is a very new thing that you should also be aware of and that you should keep an eye on, and that is the Scale Up Europe Fund. It's a completely new fund that has been established between the European Commission and private investors. It has a budget of approximately 5 billion euros, out of which 1 billion is contributed by the European Commission. And it aims at investing in critical technologies and, again, similar to EIC Accelerator or Step Scale Up, to help companies on their way towards the market and to help them scale up. The first investments are expected to be made in autumn 2026. So I would recommend you to keep an eye on it and to see or to check if there are any opportunities for you to apply for this investment possibility. And one last thing that I would like to highlight to you, this is now really just for the PHIRE consortium. We have a new service that is called EIC Venture Match, and it serves for connecting you with investors. If you are interested, if you would like to get in touch with some investors, you can fill in the self-assessment. I linked it in this slide. I will share it with the consortium later. And you will go through an assessment. You will get advice on how you can improve your pitch. So you also get a lot of input via this service, and you will get connected with relevant investors. What you should do to be able to use this service is to establish a company. So PHIRE has not yet spun off a company, but once you have the company established, please consider using the EIC Venture Match. And my last slide is just to inform you of our communications activities. In case you would like to be informed about what's going on in the EIC, any upcoming opportunities, any calls that are open, any events that we organize, any services that we are offering, you can subscribe to the EIC newsletter and the EIC Business Acceleration Services newsletter. So they both have a little bit different focus. The Business Acceleration Services is specifically designed to inform about any new opportunities related to the services that we offer, and EIC newsletter is more general, and you can basically be always updated about all new developments in the EIC. So please subscribe to the newsletter if you would like to be informed